beautiful, almost hot day here in mid-Missouri. Upper 80s on turf. And this season is underway.
Kickoff is taken right at the goal line and will be brought out by the Hawklets. He weaves his way to the right side, and he's going to be gobbled up around the 16-yard line. Nice tackle there by, the return man was Brady McCandless. Tackled by a plethora of Bruins.
Yeah, great job on the kickoff unit by Rockbridge, giving Rockhurst a lot of field to work with, trying to get down to the end zone there, see if they can't start their season with a touchdown or just points in general.
Here steps out the quarterback for the Rockhurst Hawklets. Derek Green is a 6'4", 190-pound senior. He looks to do some damage here on the first drive. Handoff to 38. He cuts back and tackled for little gain. In fact, he was tackled for a loss on the play.
That's McCandless again. Don Hammers there on the stop for Rockbridge. He comes out all fired up. It's about a loss of 3 there for the Hawklets.
Well, Hammers is another one of those senior leaders that we've mentioned. He is the nose guard for this Bruin defense.
Yeah, he's just a big built kid. Plays with a mean streak too. He's exciting to watch.
There was a jamboree at Battle last week. He really had a good game in those scrimmages. We've got 2nd and 12 now for the Hawklets. As another handoff to McCandless, and he is going to cut up the field and make it to about the 21-yard line.
Nice open field tackle there by Evan Ratterman, minimizing damage there on a misdirection play of sorts.
They've run that same misdirection play on the first 2 plays here. It's interesting if they'll keep that going, or maybe they're just trying to incorporate some new offense. Maybe they worked on in the summer practices.
Well, they can't show it too much, or else Rockbridge will pick up on it, and it's dead in the water from there.
Here's Green again. Take the snap, and he looks to throw. Pass caught over the middle by number 87. That'll be good for a first down. That is Jacob Sykes, a senior tight end. It's a nice catch there.
It's a big target, 6'4", 257 pounds. Looked like Rockbridge there brought some pressure, didn't get to the quarterback in time. A little short button hook for the first down. They also look like they dropped back into zone coverage rather than manning up with some assignments, but it's just a first down for Rockhurst.
That's a tough break for the Bruins. They were looking to cause a 3-and-out to start this season, but now the Hawklets have another first down.
See if they stick with the passing game after that success.
Green takes the snap, rolls out right, and he looks to throw again. Left, and it is incomplete. Pass was intended for number 6, Jack Eccles, as that pass was just a little underthrown.
Reese Jarvis with the assignment on Jack Eccles. He's also number 6. They did a little play action there, see if they couldn't catch the Bruins off guard as they established the running game early. Didn't go anywhere, but let's see if they're a little more willing to throw now.
Hawklets come back out of the huddle. It is 2nd and 10 now, as Green moves under center. Green takes snap. He's going to roll out right again, and there's pressure in the backfield, and he's just going to have to throw it away. As that pass was short again. That was intended for Perry O'Neill, but the pressure obviously caused the bad pass there.
Yeah, that was Jalen Logan Redding there at the pressure. He was a little bit fooled with the play action fake as he took a step towards the running back, and that allowed Derek Green to get away for a split second, but not enough to rattle him and throw the ball into the turf.
Well, Green seems to be a little bit of a dual-threat quarterback. He doesn't look too uncomfortable running around in the backfield, and he's got a nice arm from what we can tell so far. He'll have to use it here on 3rd and 10 as the Bruins cheering section makes a little noise. A fake handoff, pass right, and overthrown, intended for Joseph Coit, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Maybe they're picking on Reese Jarvis. That's the 2nd or 3rd time they've thrown a pass in his direction, but he's stood stout so far. No completions there.
Well, now Jarvis will get a chance to show off his speed here as he'll take this punt. The punter for the Hawklets is number 88. Justin Stafford, or Andrew Stafford, excuse me.
Back to return is Jarvis.
Punts away. It's a shorter punt. It's going to take a bounce. Rockbridge bounce at about the 35-yard line. And it'll be officially marked down at the 34-yard line, as that's where the Bruins will take over on offense.
That's a big first possession there for the Bruin defense. Built some confidence there, especially after the whooping they received last year. See if that can't light a fire under this offense and come out, put some points on the board, and take an early lead in this game.
Let's take a look here at the Rockbridge starting offense. Wide receiver, we've got Martez Manuel, Reese Jarvis, and Evan Rotterman. Tight end, we've got Matt Hall. Cross offensive line, number 77, Kobe Brandt is at left guard. Don Hammer is at Brandt was at left tackle. As this handoffs to Nate Pete, and he's going to plunge up the middle for about 4 yards. Left guard is Don Hammer. Center is Grant Fugier, the big senior. Right guard is Mason Boussard. Right tackle is the big Jack Roush. And at quarterback, we have Trevor Tweehouse. And at running back, we have the highly talented running back Nate Pete. Tweehouse takes the snap, looks to throw, and it's tipped up in the air and be incomplete.
Yeah, it looks like that was number 66 for Rockhurst. Joe Glazer getting his big paws on it. He comes off the field now for his sub. Knocked down Tweehouse's first pass attempt of the season. Of course, Tweehouse, younger brother of Logan Tweehouse, Rockbridge quarterback stand out here a couple years ago. You probably have nightmares about him sometimes, being a Hickman alum.
I do. As the younger Tweehouse takes the snap and looks to throw again, right side, incomplete, intended for Nate Pete, just slipped right through his hands.
Yeah, they had what they were looking for there, just a little quick out route from the backfield for Pete. He would have had a lot of open turf to work with. Fortunately, just couldn't secure the ball.
He's got amazing speed. If he completed that pass, they would have converted for a first down, but now they're 3 and out and have to give the ball right back to the Hawklets. As back for the Hawklets is number 18. That is Joseph Coit. And
it's Matthew Hall back to punt for the Bruins.
Low line drive punt, but it's got some distance to it. And it'll be picked up. Oh, it almost fumbled, but Coit was able to grab it and dive out of bounds, securing possession, and the line of scrimmage will start at the 22-yard line for the Hawklets. Well, both drives so far have been somewhat disappointing offensively, but the Hawklets were able to move the ball just a little better than the Bruins. So we'll see what comes out here on the second drive.
Yeah, at least Rockhurst converted a first down. The Bruins could. I mean, they had some chances, some opportunities. I'm sure they'll cash in on later in the game. Of course, probably have a little bit of pregame jitters. Being your first game of the season.
As Green is now back out for the Hawklets. It's under center. He's going to take the snap and hand it off right to McCandless for almost no gain. And that'll make it 2nd and 10.
Yeah, the Rockbridge defense really swarmed the line right there. Didn't allow McCandless to get anywhere. It seems like they like to get the ball in his hands. Must have a high ability to make plays. We haven't seen that yet, of course, but I'm sure he'll bust out a few big moments here if they keep handing the ball off. I mean, Rockbridge might have something to say about that, but sometimes you just can't handle playmaking ability of great players.
Well, it is certainly a hot one here today at Battle High School, as you worry about both the teams having issues with cramping, and it looks like a timeout will be called here by the Hawklets.
Yeah, a little miscommunication.
And we'll take a timeout too. We'll be right back. This is Missouri High School football. Welcome back. Our score is still 0-0. Bruins and Hawklets are tied with 8:24 left in the first quarter. As Green takes the snap, he's going to hand off jet sweep left. 18 cuts up the left sideline, good for about 7 yards. That's Joseph Coit again.
Nothing wrong with that run. You know, you gain about 5 or 6 yards, possibly 7, to make it third and manageable. In my opinion, football's all about getting a first down and just keep the drive going.
Well, you're certainly right. If that was another play that goes for good or no gain, you're looking at another third and long, which they had on the last drive. But now they've got more of a third and manageable and may be able to convert here. Snap taken by Green. Right side, just through the hands of the tight end. That's Jacob Sykes. He had a completion on the last drive, but just slipped right through his hands. And that'll bring up another fourth down as the defenses look a little more organized than the offenses do to start this game and the season.
That's probably about what you expect, though. You know, early in the game, games are often defensive battles, trying to feel teams out. So I'm sure we'll see some points put up on the board here pretty soon.
Jarvis is back again for the Bruins, and Huey O'Neill is the punter. As O'Neill boots it away, it's another short punt. It's going to roll to about the 27-yard line, 26-yard line. And that's where the Bruins will take the ball back.
Now what I'm looking for the Bruins right here is obviously the first play. I'll try to get the ball into Nate Pete's hands, their best playmaker, and really ride his back through this drive if at all possible.
Pete is a dynamic athlete, as we've mentioned, and it would be nice to see him maybe gain a few yards and get the offense kind of into a flow. There hasn't been really a flow set yet in this game by either team, and running is always a good way to do that. As a water break is now called on this hot Saturday afternoon, so I'm sure we'll see plenty of those throughout the day. Our score is still 0-0. We've got just under 8 minutes left in the first quarter, as it is a beautiful day for football. Isn't that right, Alex?
Oh, absolutely beautiful. Every day is a beautiful day for football, in my opinion.
True.
Of course, we're in the press box, which don't get me wrong, it's steamy in here, but we don't have 20 pounds of.
We do not have on football pads, but the steamy, non-air conditioned press box is it's not much better. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Not ideal for calling a game, but hey, I'm just glad to be out here.
That's the struggle we have to make to bring you this beautiful production. As Tweehouse will now lead the Bruins back onto the football field. He's got Nate Pete split to his left. As the line of scrimmage has been moved up to the 33-yard line. Pete's going to run up the middle. That's good for about 7 yards. Nice way to start the drive.
That's a great run on first down. Make it 2nd and 3. Now you're looking at a real. Oh, it looks like Rockhurst is going to go no huddle here. A little bit of hurry up, but that run is a great way to start your second drive of the game, especially after you didn't get anything in the first drive.
Going no huddle, maybe in an effort to wear out this defense. As Tweehouse is going to take it himself, and he's stopped just short of the first down for a gain of 1. A fake handoff to Pete, cut right up the middle, and a little option play.
Rockhurst initially looked fooled. They had a lot of guys bite towards the fake to Nate Pete, but quickly realized that Tweehouse still had the ball and jumped right on him. That'll make it 3rd and 2. Hopefully for the Bruins they can convert here. Be a big stop for Rockhurst, though.
They've not converted a first down yet. They, of course, only have one possession, 3 and out. Snap's taken here. Throw is knocked up in the air, and it's going to be incomplete. It's the second time that's happened. Jacob Sykes with the breakup.
It's the second time that's happened. Rockbridge kind of go with 3 or 4, just little short hook routes, trying to see if they can just grab a first down right there, and a defensive lineman has swatted the ball away for the Hawklets.
Well, Tweehouse is only listed at 6 feet tall. It might be hard for him to get those passes off when there's big 6'4", 257-pounder Jacob Sykes, this big, hands are in the way. As Matt Hall has set the punt for the Bruins. And Coit and Cooper Krezek are back for the Hawklets. And Krezek's going to call for the fair catch. He loses the football, though, but it's fallen on by the Hawklets, and they will regain possession.
Close call there for the Hawklets as Martez Manuel was all over Krezek, who attempted to catch the punt, but he didn't cover it. He was more focused on, just making a tackle, which is probably the smarter play because you can't count on a punt returner to just fumble the ball.
Well, he called for a fair catch, and as we mentioned, there's probably a lot of jitter still here in the first quarter. The first punt taken by Krezek all year, and just sort of slipped right through his hands. As the Hawklets offense returns, and Green's looking to move the football this time. Snap taken by Green, handoff, or fake to McCandless as the football was almost lost, and the play will go for no gain, or loss of yardage, actually. And there's a flag on the play.
Now this flag, I see three options here. I see holding, illegal hands of the face, or a face mask because Derek Green came out with his helmet off. I don't know if someone ripped it off or if it just came off. We'll see what, as the referees consult here, we'll see what they come to a conclusion with.
Well, there seemed to be a little miscommunication there between McCandless and Green as the handoff was kind of bobbled by both, and McCandless kept it.
We just got a personal foul on Rockbridge. That'll move him 15 yards forward. If I had to guess, it was probably a face mask, but they didn't give us a certain hand signal, just a personal foul.
As you're right, we're here watching on the replay. Green came out of the pile without a helmet. That's never a safe thing to happen. Green will now hand off to McCandless again on a misdirection, and he's going to be swallowed. As here's another flag. Looks like this time it might have been face mask.
I don't think it was a face mask. I think he had him by the shoulder pads, but we'll see what the far line judge saw. He might have had an obscured look at it, but he seemed pretty confident when he threw the flag.
Just the way he was thrown down was kind of traditional of a face mask, but we'll see what the referees come up with here after they huddle and discuss.
I'll give each other their 2 cents, see what they come up with.
As they still continue to discuss the previous play, the referee now steps away.
I think the near line judge told the far line judge that it wasn't a face mask, and he had him by the shoulder pad or just below the helmet, and that's why there's no flag.
As the referee will pick up the flag, and we will reset, and it'll be 2nd and 11 for the Hawklets. As Green takes the snap, pass right side to Krezek. He completes it. It's good for about 6 yards, and that'll make it 3rd and 4.
That was Keewon Collins and Evan Ratterman teaming up there to bring down Cooper Krezek to make it 3rd and 4. One went high, one went low. Got the job done. See if they can't hold him here, force another punt.
We have 5:45 left here in the first quarter, and neither team has crossed the midfield yet. As we've got 3rd and 4 here for Rockhurst. Green takes the snap, looks to throw, and it's intercepted. That's number 3, Martez Manuel. Comes up with the big catch, and it'll be Rockbridge football. Great play there by Manuel, just steps in front of the pass and is able to pick off Green. It's the first turnover on either side today.
That's huge for Rockbridge. Green was looking for his favorite target of the day so far, Jacob Sykes. He threw it behind him, and Martez Manuel was there to pick up the leftovers and return it to about the Rockhurst 35, set up great field position. Hopefully they can punch one in or, like I said, just get some points. I mean, playing with the lead is huge.
Just as I mentioned that no team had crossed half field, now Rockbridge will take it on the Rockhurst side of the 40 or 35-yard line. So Rockbridge, comes out and looks to run a little up tempo as Pete takes the football. Will dive forward for about 3.5 yards.
Now, I'm sure sitting in his dorm room right now, Rockbridge great Tate Nickelberry is enjoying that interception that we just saw. He was a great wide receiver, great friend of mine. He's now at Missouri S&T. He's going to be a receiver there. He's going to do great things for them.
He's a good friend of the program. Tweehouse throw left. He's got a man just overthrown slightly. That was intended for Zach Boyles. As Tweehouse just missed his man.
Yeah, Boyles had a step on the Rockhurst cornerback. That'd be Michael Johnson. They couldn't convert the pass. I'm sure Tweehouse is kicking himself after that. They got what they wanted. It had 6 written all over it. That'll make it about 3rd and 6 here.
The Bruins still have not converted a first down, going 3 and out on the last 2 possessions. As looked to be offsides by the Hawklets, but no flag is thrown. As they're able to slide back to their side of the line of scrimmage. Handoff to Pete. He cuts outside and looks for a seam, but he's going to be tackled for a loss. Loss of 4 on the play, and that'll bring up another 4th down for the Bruins.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. They can't turn the interception or anything but what they've done all day. I don't think they're bringing the punt unit out here.
They may be in an
This would be a tough place to punt here at the opponent's 34.
They're really in an in-between spot here where they're too far for a field goal, but the punt just really doesn't make sense either as Tweehouse looks to throw. He's pressured in the backfield. He's going to try to run for the first down, and he's going to get it. Almost dives into the 1-yard line. Great play there by Tweehouse as he just can't find a man, tucks under his arm, and takes off. There's
a great downfield block there by Matthew Hall, holding his man off down there around the 5-yard line. Really give Tweehouse a lane, not let his defender get away. They're going to go hurry up here, see if they can't catch Rockhurst off guard and punch one in real quick.
We've mentioned Tweehouse is a dual-threat quarterback, and he showed off his legs there. So he's able to scamper, avoid the defense, and the football is lost there on the goal line play as snap was fumbled. Pete recovered the fumble, and now we have
second and goal now from the 7.
Second and goal from the 7.
Yeah, Rockbridge fortunate there to pounce on the ball before Rockhurst could take away all this momentum. That's a little bit of a momentum killer right there, going from having the ball on the 1.5 to now back on the 7. Although that does give you a little more room to work with, as weird as that sounds.
Rockbridge now is taking their time a little more on this play. So the snap's going to go back to Pete. He's going to come up just short of the goal line. And that'll make it 3rd and goal, back down on the 1, maybe even the half-yard line. As Rockbridge may bring up the big boys here.
Yeah, he found a gap there on the right side of the line of scrimmage. Andrew Stafford was there for the Hawklets on the stop, touchdown-saving stop. You think you get down the 1, scoring is just a formality, but sometimes you just don't know. Something as unfortunate as a fumble could happen, as we saw.
Looks like we've got a stoppage in play here. Not sure what for yet. We'll see if the referee lets us know.
Referee talking to Jack Roush, forcing him to the sideline.
Maybe some sort of injury. He's walking on the sideline. He appears to be all right. Might be just a little lightheaded or something. It's hot out here.
Checking in now is the junior offensive guard, Bryce Nichols, taking Roush's spot.
As it is, we reset. It's 3rd and goal on the 1-yard line. Hand off to Pete, and he's going to be stopped short again. The goal line stand by the Hawklets. That'll make it 4th down.
Looks like they're sending the field goal unit out here for Rockbridge, which I can't disagree with.
But you have to agree that it's disappointing that great run by Tweehouse. 1st and goal on the 1, and you can't convert. That's just got to be a tough break.
Absolutely.
Field goal kicker is Will Norris. Good snap. Good place. Kick is up, and it's good.
Josh Moore came around the edge there for Rockhurst. Looked like he might have been able to get an arm or anything on it. Fortunately for Rockhurst, he just missed, but that's big for Rockbridge as they lead 3-0 now here with all 2s across the timeline.
Well, Will Norris splits the uprights to give the Bruins the first lead of the game. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. You're listening to Missouri State High School football. Welcome back, and we're set for the kickoff as Norris looks to boot it away, and he does. Going to be taken at about the 5-yard line here by Rockhurst. That's Krezik. He cuts up the right side, and he's still not been brought down yet. He looks to cut back, but he'll be swallowed up at about the 31-yard line as the referee gave him forward momentum.
A very elusive return there by Krezik. He found an initial seam, and once that closed, he tried to cut back midfield, but it seemed like everybody on the field was in that same spot, and it still took him a second or two to be brought down as he fell forward at about the 31.
He almost shimmied out of there, but Rockbridge was able to corral the returner. As Rockhurst looks to answer now, as they have not been able to get the ball moving here at all. And Derek Green, the quarterback of the Hawklets, looks to lead his team down the field.
Rockbridge on maybe of a 3-4 set, 4 linebackers, 3 linemen. You got 2 safeties and 2 corners there on the edges. The defensive starters for Rockbridge at corner, Reese Jarvis, safety Evan Ratterman, the other safety Martez Manuel. The opposite side corner is Marcus Manuel. At the line, left tackle, we got Jalen Logan Redding, nose guard Don Hammers, and at right tackle, Jack Roush.
Green takes a snap, fakes the handoff, and rolls out left. Now will look to throw. There's pressure in the backfield. He evades one tackler and is just going to throw it away. Rockbridge has brought the pressure. Pass was intended for Coit, but Bruins have been in the backfield a lot to start the game.
Yeah, Rockbridge brings a really athletic linebacking core made up of Drew Boswell, Will Norris, Parker Wright, and Bryson Clayton. Of course, Clayton out last year with a torn ACL. He wears a knee brace on that same knee. That'd be his left knee. But it's great to have him back. He's a great leader. He's very vocal. He does and of course, he's very athletic. Great at making plays on the defensive side of the ball.
He's one of those many senior leaders here for the Bruins. Snap taken by Green. It's a handoff to McCandless, and he is going to be tackled for a loss as this Bruins front still asserting their authority on this Hawklets offensive line.
I think every Rockbridge Bruin lineman there got a piece of McCandless. You know, Logan Redding got in there, then Jack Roush got in there, and then finally at the very end, Don Hammers came sprinting in, said, "How do you do?" and popped him there right before he got to the turf. Make him feel it a little bit as we got 3rd down.
3rd and 6 to be exact on the 35-yard line as Green will take the snap and throw to his right. And a pass will be caught there by Jack Eccles, and he's going to slice his way up the field, crossing midfield to the 45-yard line, and that'll make it 1st down for the Hawklets.
And that's Rockhurst by far their biggest gain of the day. That's about a 20, 25-yard gain. Great job by Derek Green to get the ball out in the flat to his intended receiver, and then for Eccles to shut off a tackler, cut up field, shimmy to the left, and finally he got popped by a Bruin linebacker down at the 45.
We've got a flag on the previous play, and this might be coming back as both teams start to walk, or at least for Rockhurst, and now the referee starts to walk in that direction.
Yeah, we got a penalty flag laying here on the near side at the Rockhurst 37.
But going back to that previous play, I believe it was Reese Jarvis who he looked to seem to go for the breakup or the interception instead of just bringing down his man, and missed the tackle, and Eccles was able to escape and get that first down. But now it may be unnecessary as penalty on the play. We're not sure what the penalty on the play was, but
it's a 5-yard penalty brought back, so possibly a lineman or someone on the line. They had too many men on the line or lined up.
Illegal formation of some type.
Lined up in the neutral zone, just something.
Now we've got 3rd and long for Rockhurst as Green's going to throw again. Has a man on the left side. McCandless completes the catch, and he's going to go all the way down to the 29-yard line. Great play there.
Finally shoved out by Kewan Collins, but man, McCandless just flew out of the backfield. Wasn't picked up immediately, and finally someone got on him, but not before he had 2 steps on him, and Derek Green just delivered the ball right to him.
Well, that can sometimes be tricky with a tailback coming out of the backfield and going deep like that. Sometimes hard, maybe a linebacker's job to pick that up, and McCandless was just missed there, and the Hawklets were able to capitalize. As now we've got 1st and 10 for Rockhurst. Handoff to, I believe, the fullback, or maybe that's McCandless.
So just a quick bit of information on Bryson Clayton. It was last year against Rockhurst when he tore his ACL. So you got to imagine he probably has as a chip on his shoulder, and he just really wants to get back out there and maybe bring back a little bit of vengeance on these Hawklets, as it took away his entire junior year from him from a football standpoint.
Check that. That was R.J. Pascuzzi on the carry there. And that'll be the end of the first quarter. Our score is Rockbridge 3, Rockhurst nothing. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. And we're back as we've changed field directions here, as Rockhurst will now be going right to left and Rockbridge will be going left to right, as we've got 2nd and 8 to start the second quarter. Rockhurst has the football on the 29-yard line as the snap is taken and given off to McCandless. He looks to cut up left side, flag on the play, and he'll be tackled for about a gain of 1.
Yeah, that's going to be holding on Matt O'Keefe of Rockhurst. He had Kewan Collins on the outside of the shoulder pads, brought him right down to the turf, and that'll get called. I'm not going to say 10 times out of 10, but probably 9 times out of 10. You won't get away with that.
Well, penalties have certainly killed the Hawklets here to start the game, as they've had some big plays called back due to various penalties, which penalties are always drive killers, especially at the beginning of the year when you're still trying to figure out the offense and the flow. Just be a real disappointment.
So that'll make it 2nd and long now, and man, holding calls can really be killer for a drive, especially when you just come off a big play, and now you're backed up to not where you originally were, but I mean definitely a good chunk of what you just gained.
2nd and 19 is fake handoff. Green's going to throw. Now he's going to cut up, back up the middle. He's going to run with it, evades one tackle, and dives forward for And that'll make it 3rd and long still, even though we gained about 6 or 7 yards on the play. Nice run, but still not enough for a 1st down.
Yeah, brought down by a pack of Bruins right there. And one of the linebackers, I believe to be Parker Wright, had a chance to bring him down earlier. And Green evaded that, ducking under Parker Wright's arm. Well, this is a tough 3rd down situation. You'd love to answer Rockbridge's successful drive. But you face 3rd and 13. It's just a difficult task to complete.
And a timeout looks like will be taken here by Rockhurst as they just can't figure things out on offense quite yet.
Not yet. I mean, it's the first game of the season, of course. With a coach's experience as Severino, he's going to get all these kinks figured out in the offense, and I'm sure he'll make some great halftime adjustments. They'll figure out how to attack this Rockbridge defense and really exploit maybe some of the weaknesses that they see. Although Rockbridge hasn't shown a lot any yet, they have given up some. Well, not given up, but they've found some holes in the pass game, mainly downfield, as we saw with the big McCandless gain there when he took a streak route or more of a wheel route out of the backfield. But, like I said, Severino, he's a great coach. He's coached 7 state championship teams. He'll figure something out. Him and his staff will figure something out to do.
Well, as they always say, defense is always much easier to pick up earlier in the year than the offense. I mean, defense is pretty simple. You see ball, go tackle the guy. Offense, there's moving parts everywhere. There's different complications. There's all sorts of plays to remember. And early in the year like this is typically when you see offensive struggles.
That's what's so different about defense is defense depends on what the other team is doing. While offense, you dictate what's going on. So that's why they're totally separate entities.
We've got 3rd and 13 here. Green's going to take the snap and move to his left a little bit. Steps up in the pocket and throw. He has a man left side, and it's going to be broken up. Intended for, I believe, McCandless again. There's nice coverage there by it was Drew Boswell.
Yeah, the outside linebacker. He was assigned with McCandless out of the backfield. They tried to run the same play they did when they picked up the huge gain there at the end of the 1st quarter. This time to no avail. And it looks like Rockhurst will send out the punt unit, try and pin Rockbridge deep in their own territory.
This is Harry O'Neill, the punter. It was kind of one of those fool me once, shame on you sort of deals where he got burned on the one play, but Boswell learned this time and was able to break up the pass. There's
no one back to return.
No one back for the Bruins. I was trying to figure out why I couldn't find the guy. As O'Neill looks low snap. O'Neill's going to boot it away. It's a high punt.
Directly out of bounds. That's going to
way out of bounds.
That's going to be down to the 23. Wow, that is not what they wanted whatsoever.
Well, the referee still is walking, and he's going to say went
29.
out of bounds at the 29. As not the best punt there, but it's a tricky punt there when you're so close to the opposing end zone.
It almost appeared that O'Neill, the Hawklet punter, was trying to bait the Rockbridge punt unit into running into him after he punted it. He couldn't, as Rockbridge is a little more disciplined than that, not to give up a personal foul like that and give him a 1st down, especially on 4th and long where it's totally unnecessary.
Well, he hesitated a little bit, almost as if he was faking it, sort of holding the ball out still before he eventually booted it away. That definitely gave Rockbridge the chance to get there, but as you mentioned, they did not. Here comes Pete. He'll go up the right sideline, or not right sideline, but right side of the field. It's good for about 5 or 6 yards.
Injury timeout, number 4. Lost his helmet. That's Cooper Krezik for the Hawklets.
Krezik's been all over the field today so far, returning punts and kickoffs, and offensively and defensively has been in the action for the most part.
Yeah, Rockbridge will be looking to build off their last drive, but they did get points. Unfortunately, had 2 plays down on the Rockhurst one, but couldn't punch it into the end zone.
Tweehouse takes the snap, throwing again, left side.
It's Jarvis.
Jarvis, looks like it went right through his hands as Tweehouse had perfect pass, just couldn't quite come up with the catch.
Yeah, Jarvis got turned around once, twice, 3 times trying to track down that ball. That shows how precise Tweehouse was with the pass, putting it right in his route. Fortunately for Rockbridge, he couldn't corral it, but it's still third manageable, so the situation could be much worse.
It's 3rd and 5 here. They give it off to Pete and see what he can do with it, or they may let it fly again. As they are going to let it fly, and there's pressure in the backfield. Tweehouse is going to have to evade it, moving to his left, and the pass is broken up. Great play there by Harry O'Neill as he jumps up and just swats down the intended pass there by Tweehouse.
That was R.J. Pascuzzi with the pressure on Tweehouse, the junior linebacker, 6'1", 197. He's probably a scary guy to see come flying at you unblocked. Can't blame Tweehouse for rolling out, trying to make a play, especially on 3rd down.
Exactly right. He slipped through the line of scrimmage with no nobody picked up his block, as it looked like to be a stunt there on the offensive line. And by then the play had broken down for the most part, and Tweehouse was just looking to scramble and make something out of nothing. Isn't able to. As the punt team's back out, Matthew Hall just gets it off as
it's a deep punt.
O'Neill was there again. Deep punt picked up by Coit. He runs right side, looking to gain some yardage as he will be tackled out of bounds around the 30. They'll spot it down at the 32-yard line.
Dragged down by Peyton Carr, the sophomore linebacker, 6', 165.
We've mentioned a lot of sophomores here for Rockbridge. There's quite a few sophomore playmakers, even a few starters. I think we've mentioned this Logan Redding. I believe you just mentioned just Parker Wright. These are in Norris as well, are all sophomores.
Young contributors for the team. That's big. That provides experience for later on in the season and later on in your football career. I can vouch for that. I played on varsity as a sophomore for basketball, and I can say it's done nothing but help. As a senior now, of course.
Here come the Hawklets as Green hands it off to McCandless, and he is swallowed up in the backfield again. Looks to be no gain or even possibly loss of a yard there, as the Bruins have really put a stop to any sort of running action that the Hawklets have tried here in the first half.
First man there for the Bruins was Will Norris, and then his teammates came in and picked up the scraps to knock him down before he could break the line of scrimmage.
As our score here is 3-0, we've got 9:10 left here in the first half. As it is 2nd and 10, Green takes a snap, pitch, sort of a interesting misdirection play, as it looked like he was maybe pitching it out wide for a sweep, but he sort of handed it off up the middle, of a sort of counter misdirection play. It didn't fool the Bruins though, as they only gained about a yard.
That was Norris there again on the stop, not fooled at all. Popped the Rockhurst ball carrier. This time just for a short gain of 1.
Jack Roush is going to check out for the Bruins. As
probably bring on the more of like a quarter dime set here. Banking on the Hawklets throwing the ball.
Got 3rd and 9. Green takes a snap. Fake handoff to McCandless. He's going to throw, and it's going to be complete. Just near the first down. We'll have to see
and they
where
get
they
a very
spot it.
favorable spot there. It would have been close.
That was complete to number 86, Harry O'Neill, and they're going to give him the first down to the displeasure of the Bruins sideline, as we hear some barking here coming from the stands.
And the Bruins fans not happy with that spot at all.
As you mentioned, it was pretty favorable.
Yeah, I'm not doubting that he got it, but it was right there on the line, and he gave him an extra foot or two.
It was close, to say the least.
Well, life goes on. You just have to deal with it and make a stop now. That's what the Bruin defense has to. You got to move on. You can't linger on past plays.
Green is under center. Going to hand it off to McCandless. McCandless finally finds a seam. He's able to cut up the middle for about a gain of 6. That'll make it 2nd and 4.
That was Don Hammers on the stop there, I believe. Not Don Hammers, but Bryson Clayton there for the Bruins. Keep him from going anywhere.
Well, that was the first time, at least I can remember, a real hole being made for McCandless in the backfield, as he was able to finally get some yardage. Green takes a snap, handoff again to McCandless, and nothing going there again, as tackled for a loss of 2, as this Bruin front continues to impress.
On the stop there, we unfortunately don't have his number on our roster. It says number 80 was the guy who came down with the stop, I believe.
We've got mystery players. We've got it all here today for you folks. As it'll be 3rd and 6 here for the Hawklets. Green takes a snap, is throwing it, tucks it. He might run, and he's hit from behind. Passing complete. Pressure there, I believe, by
our mystery
player.
By
Our
mystery man.
We'll see what the PA announcer has for a name here. As
we wait patiently. They're going to give it to number 81. That's Jalen Logan Redding, the starting lineman for the Bruins. He's wearing number 80 today. On our roster, we have him as 81.
And that solves the mystery, as he comes up with 2 nice plays in a row. And now the Hawklets will have to punt again. Reese Jarvis is back for the Bruins as O'Neill boots it away. This is another high, short punt. And goes out of bounds. We'll see where this one's spotted as well.
Nearly nails a photographer. I'll tell you what, I saw that Rockhurst long snapper, first guy down the field for him. Looking to make a big play against Jarvis, the returner, and push his punter.
The
place it out of bounds.
Side judge will mark it down at the 38-yard line, as that was a pretty poor punt there by O'Neill.
So we got good field position here again for the Bruins, as both offenses haven't really done real well. They haven't moved the ball fantastically, and it looks like we're going to have another water break timeout. And with that, we'll also go to a short break. You're watching Missouri High School football here on UClick TV.
Welcome back. Our score is 3-0 still, as Rockbridge holds on to a slim lead here against the Rockhurst Hawklets. We've got 6:18 left in the second quarter, as a flag will be thrown. Looks to be false start on the Bruins.
They don't like hand signals. The line judges don't, at least. They just like to yell it at them.
As after that water break, the Bruins shoot themselves in the foot.
Our referees tonight, we have white cap Dan Smith. Here on the near side on the line judge, we have Frank Thomas. You know, yes, same name as the Big Hurt, but not the Big Hurt, of course, the amazing football player. We have Marcus Johnson patrolling the deep part of the field.
As this handoff goes to Pete, he's going to look to cut up outside. Is unable to pick up too many yards, as he did much more running east and west than he did north and south, as Josh Moore comes up with the tackle there.
And on the far side, we have Dylan Red as the other opposite line judge.
And those are our officials for today's game. The gain of 6, as we've got 2nd and 9 now for the Bruins, as they were at 1st and 15, as they're going to give it off to Pete again. He's going to work his way outside. Flag is thrown.
Holding.
Looks to be holding. And this ball will come back.
Yeah, we'll have 2nd and 19 from the Bruins on 29. They didn't even hesitate to make the call. They just immediately went into it, as everyone and their mother knew what it was here at Battle High School today.
As both teams begin the slow walk back to where the ball will be spotted. It's always my least favorite walk.
Well, I mean, if you're on offense.
That's true.
You know, as a Nebraska fan, the Pelini era, all you did was see penalty after penalty. So we saw the either the walk forward on the defensive end or the walk backwards as trying to score.
Well,
and
it's
it was
really
frustrating.
tragic that you're a Nebraska fan, but we wish you all the best of luck in finding a new football team to root for.
I'm sure you do.
As it'll be 2nd and 15, I believe, as missed the holding was called from the spot of the foul. As the play is going to go to Pete, and he's going to be swallowed up in the backfield. Loss of 2 on the play. And now it'll be 3rd and very long for the Bruins.
Yeah, the Rockbridge lineman there. Yeah, they kind of just bumped the lineman, maybe hoping that the handoff wasn't as delayed as it was. And they tried to get into the second level, but Pete couldn't burst through the 3 big Hocklet defenders before he could get to the second level, where he would have had a lot of open space and blockers. But if you can't get there, then it's of no use.
Snap goes to Tweehouse. There's no one in the backfield, so he will throw, but now he has to roll out left with pressure in the backfield, and he's unable to get the ball away, and he will be sacked out of bounds, I guess you could say, around the 23-yard line.
You'd like to see a little more poise out of your senior quarterback there. It didn't take long for him to kind of get cold feet and rush out of the pocket. Receive pressure out there, too, and he didn't even get sacked. He just he didn't even get nudged out of bounds. He just ran out of space to run and just found his feet on the boundary.
As Matthew Hall will now boot it away again. As that play, the last play really sort of hurt the field position game. As now the Bruins are going to be pinned pretty far back for the punt. As it just gets off, it's a low punt. It's going to take a 1 Rockbridge bounce and skip out of bounds on the 48-yard line, where the Rockhurst Hawklets will take over with good field position. Well, as hot as it is today, we've seen both defenses out on the field for prolonged periods of time. You've got to wonder if maybe not now, but in the second half, these teams just start to wear out, and maybe we start to see more offense.
And you gotta, yeah, like I said, but this is high school football, so you're going to see a lot of Ironman action. You're going to see a lot of people playing on both sides of the ball. So it as much as the defense has been out there, I'm sure they're not just as tired, but they're still pretty tired on offense too.
Snap taken by Green, throw left side, complete to Eccles, and he will be brought down for about a gain of 7 on the play. As that was Jack Eccles, the senior wide receiver. And that'll make it 2nd and manageable, 2nd and 3 for the Hawklets.
Yeah, see if they can put some points on the board here with less than 4 minutes to go here in the second half. See if they can't tie it up or take the lead going into halftime. That'd be huge for them.
Under center, Green is going to fake to McCandless and roll out right. He's got a man short, 33. That is Matt O'Keefe, and he's able to cut up the sideline. Good for a first down. Nice play there by the Hawklets.
Yeah, it was a great job by the quarterback Green to push the Bruin lineman's hands, or force the issue rather, as they came sprinting at him, and he did a good job of holding his ground and kept rolling out. And when O'Keefe found some open turf, he delivered the ball, and nice gain.
Green again will take the snap, fake to McCandless. He's going to throw it deep. He's got a man.
It's a high wobbler.
It's going to be brought down by 86. He's going to dive into the end zone for a touchdown. Harry O'Neill goes up and gets the jump ball, comes down, turns and runs, and just lunges into the end zone. That'll be good for a Rockhurst touchdown.
Yeah, Harry O'Neill has about a 2-inch advantage over the safety Marcus Manuel, who had the assignment there, and Green threw up a jump ball, took his chances, and Manuel made a great play on it, but O'Neill just a little bit stronger, took it from Manuel, little spin move, and then drug a tackler down to the end zone.
Well, you mentioned there was a high wobbler, and for a second they were both tied up with it, but the big man won there as he rips it away and is able to dive into the end zone for the touchdown. PAT attempt is going to split the uprights, and that'll make it 7-3. Rockhurst now has a first half lead, and their first points of the season and of the game are on the board. We're going to take a quick timeout here as we will bring you the last part of the second half here. You're listening to Missouri High School Football, brought to you by CPS TV. And we're back. We've got a lead change now as Rockhurst leads 7-3 with 3:16 left here in the first half. As Eric Agrinesiano looks to boot it away for the Hawklets. It's a short kickoff. It's going to be taken by, I believe, Reese Jarvis, as he's going to cut his way up the field to about the 30-yard line where the Bruins will take over on offense.
Yeah, with 3:09 to get downfield, that's definitely manageable, and you're a little optimistic there with that kickoff return. Of course, we saw the first kickoff of the game go just about the 15, so getting up to the 31, you got to travel 69 yards in 3:09. The passing game we haven't seen a lot of it, and we've seen 3 passes batted down before they could get past the line of scrimmage. So hopefully Tweehouse and co. can put something together here and regain the lead or just make it a one-point game even.
Well, we've seen the Bruins run up tempo a few times already, so there's no doubt that they don't have enough time, as Nate Pete's going to run his way up the middle for a gain of, we'll say 10, good for a first down, as the chain gang begins to move on the sideline.
You see Pete there pointing at his teammates, giving them some daps, and hey, that's great blocking. Keep giving me that. I'll keep giving you 10-yard, 11-yard, 12-yard gains, anything in that area. We can get this ball moving.
Tweehouse takes a snap, and they're going to go back to Pete. He's going to go right side this time. Nothing going, though, as he's going to get a little extracurricular activity after the play was over, but no flags are thrown, as they're just going to let the boys play.
That was Big Danielson Ike, the 6'6", 315-pound junior from Rockhurst, breaking up the run play there, just plowing through the middle. You can see him. He's towering over everybody out there.
Because that was a loss of 3 on the play, and that'll put him back on the 38-yard line. We've got 2nd and 13 now for the Bruins. Tweehouse is going to fake the Pete, throw out the left to Jarvis, and he's going to go left side and gain about 5 yards on the play. That'll make it about 3rd and 7.
Took little to no time there for Cooper Krezik to recognize what was going on and break that up before it could turn into a big play. Jarvis initially had a lot of room to work with, and Krezik just went on a beeline straight for him and knocked him down for a short gain of 3.
It was a well-executed play as they were able to get the screen out quickly. But as you mentioned, Krezik has made the better play. As now we're going to actually have 3rd and 8 on this 3rd down try for the Bruins. So they're going to give it off to Pete to see if he can do anything with the football. But once again, the Hawklets backfield, or defensive line is going to make its way into the backfield as another big loss for the Bruins, as Pete just sort of ran backwards on that play and came up with a big loss.
Rocker's going to call a timeout here.
We've got 1:58 left in this first half, so we're going to have a little 2-minute drill action by Rockhurst as both teams will now huddle and sip some water on this hot Saturday afternoon.
I suspected on that last Rockbridge play that they let the play clock dwindle down to about 12. They didn't look they didn't look like they were in a real rush. And if I had to guess, they didn't want to stop the clock any more than they had to, so they handed it off to Pete. They didn't want to throw an incomplete pass. They handed it off to Pete. See, maybe he can make a play, and if not, at least the clock wouldn't stop if he gets tackled in bounds, of course.
Well, now the Bruins will have to punt it away here, as I don't think they'll go for it on 4th and 23. It's a little unmanageable. And Hawklets are going to get the ball back with pretty decent field position. It was like the last possession. Tweehouse rolled out left and just sort of ran out of bounds, giving the Hawklets good field position. And now this sort of just kind of a goofy play there by Pete, just sort of running backwards, is going to sort of flip the field again for the Bruins. Is silly plays on 3rd down to kill the field position battle here between the Hawklets and the Bruins.
Yeah, real defensive game. I expect that we'll see a little more offense in the second half. As like I said, they'll make halftime adjustments to attack these stout defenses so far.
As Matt Hall is back, ready to boot it away. It's another low punt, but it's a long punt, and it's going to go. It's
fumbled.
But it's going to be fallen on by I believe, McCandless of the Hawklets, as that just slipped right through Joseph Coit's hands, as he had to angle right to be able to make that play. And just slipped right through his hands, made it a live football. There was Rockbridge players in the area, but Rockhurst was able to recover.
Yeah. One of the Bruin punt specialists just overran it. He did a great job of getting down there for the punt coverage. Just in case he did catch, he would have been all over him, but he did too good of a job as he overran the ball when Coit did muff it.
We'll see what the Hawklets want to do here with 1:50 left here in the first half. Is they're going to fake a pass and roll out right, and Green's going to throw it back to
wow, he's gone.
McCandless, and he's got room to work on the right side. Down the sideline, he'll run out of bounds at around the 33-yard line. And that was a big play there as he faked it to McCandless, and McCandless just went on a little wheel route and was left all alone on the right sideline.
Yeah, that was Clayton there, Bryson Clayton, who was tasked with guarding McCandless out of the backfield. And you really sense who Rockhurst wants to get the ball to. They want to get it to McCandless. They want to get it to Coit. And now they're growing confident in Green's ability to throw the ball and make plays as well.
Well, with Clayton, we've mentioned his ACL. He may not run as fast as he used to, and he's a big man. It may be hard to keep up with the little linebackers. It's going to be a reverse counter up the middle to Cooper Krezik, and that's going to go for about 6 yards, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Yeah, just a little bit of a jet sweep action, trying to see if they can't catch the Bruins off guard with maybe a run play. They got to call timeout. They had too many men on the field. They don't want to, as you could see, Keewan Collins come sprinting off there before Rockhurst snapped the ball, but you don't want to give him another fresh set of downs, and then as well as 5 yards too, with here a minute 17 to go in the first half. The Hawklets lead Rockbridge 7-3. They're pushing the envelope here, you know.
Well, if you're Coach Van Venenda, you really have to like, aside from this drive here, you have to like so far maybe what you're seeing from Rockbridge is they're still in this game. They're down early, or they're down now. They had the lead early, and you know this Rockhurst team is ranked 3rd in their class. They're no pushover. You have to like what you're seeing so far from the Bruins.
Yeah, especially after last year's drubbing. You know, you lose 51-6. That can play with some players. You know, play in their minds. Maybe strike a little bit of fear into them. But Rockbridge came out fearless today. They came out, you know, not necessarily firing all cylinders, but they came out fired up, and you know they shouldn't be disappointed down 4 right now.
as it's 2nd and 4 with 1:17 left. Green's going to pass it to
Ooh.
his right. Broken up on the play. Nice play there by Martez Manuel. As that pass was intended for Eccles, I believe.
Yeah, that could have been an interception, and he could have took that back for 6, too. Unlucky for him, he got caught up behind him. Did a great job of getting his hands on the ball, forcing an incompletion, making it 3rd down here. This is a big 3rd down for this Rockbridge defense and the Rockhurst offense. This is one of the biggest plays of the game so far. Biggest downs of the game right here.
3rd and 4. Green looks to pass. There's pressure in the backfield. That's picked off.
It's Reese Jarvis.
That's Reese Jarvis. He's got running room, too. He's going to cross the 50, and he still hasn't been brought down. He's going to take it all the way to the Rockhurst 35. Big play there.
It's actually Evan Ratterman. That's huge. You go from knocking on the door to putting Rockbridge right back into field position with them a chance to take the lead.
Well, that's the 2nd interception on the day by Green as Evan Rotterman, the senior strong safety, was able to just step in front of his guy and pick off the pass and start running with it in the other direction.
Yeah, Green just throwing right off his back foot. You know, he was met with some pressure from some edge defenders there by the Bruins. And he was forced to make a play, and he didn't want to take a sack because they're out of timeouts. You know, 3rd down, and he compounded problems there by tossing it up for grabs.
Well, Rotterman will get credit for the interception, but you got to give some credit to the pressure in the backfield there. That really what broke the play down initially, and then that's when the interception followed, as Tweehouse is now going to throw it. He's got someone left side, and he just overthrows his man. I believe that's number 29, Zach Boyles.
Yeah, he was the intended receiver on the big play earlier for Rockbridge when they took it down to the Rockhurst one. Possibly the same play call. It was definitely the same route. They must like what they see there. And you don't have the luxury to run the ball here with 57 seconds left. I believe Rockbridge has a timeout left, maybe 2. I think they just have 1. But you don't have the luxury to run the ball. So, but Pete can be elusive out of the backfield, running routes.
Certainly they're going to take some shots down the field, and as soon as you mention that they can't run, they will, as Pete will run outside for little to no gain. We'll give him a gain of 1 on the carry, as that'll still stop the clock, though, as he's able to scamper out of bounds, and that'll make it 3rd and 9 on the play, as the Bruins may just take another shot downfield.
Yeah, give a big thanks there to Van Veneta for forcing me to eat my words, as I called out his inability to run the ball here with 52 seconds to remain.
Well, maybe we'll give that to Mike Hall, the offensive
Mike Hall, there you go.
As they're going to run it again, and there's running room there for Pete as he's able to dive all the way down to the 24-yard line.
Now that right there was a
for
smart
first
play
down.
call. That was a smart play call, running it. You know, Rockhurst was on their heels, you know, dropping back into pass coverage. A little bit of a delayed handoff, more like a draw.
And now that they're able to get the first down, the clock stops till they set the chains. Now the clock is rolling again. We've got 40 seconds left here in the first half. Tweehouse takes the snap, and he's got a man right side. It's bobbled up in the air, and it is picked off. That's number 4, Cooper Kresick, as it was popped up in the air by, I believe, number 16 on the play. Sam Tatum, and Kresick comes down with the interception as the promising Rockbridge drive comes up empty.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. You make a big play on the interception. You drive all the way down to, you know, deep into Rockhurst territory. And then an unfortunate bounce and a great play, like you said, by Sam Tatum to break that pass up and for Cooper Kresick to be aware and die before the ball could harmlessly hit the ground. I'm sure Rockhurst will just try and run out the clock here. You know, 32 seconds left. It'll be pretty difficult to go 93 yards.
It looks like that's what they're going to do. They're going to take a knee and take their 7-3 lead into halftime and into the locker room. As I don't know if there'll be one more play.
Doesn't look like it.
As I believe
play clock still hasn't started.
Has not started, and it looks like the time will run out. As both teams still remain on the sideline and on the field, but now they start to make their way back towards each sideline as they will trot into the locker room now. Our score here at halftime, Rockhurst has a 4-point lead over the Bruins. It is Rockhurst 7, Rockbridge 3. And we're going to take a timeout for halftime as the marching band makes its way onto the field. That's everybody's favorite. You're listening to Missouri High School Football, brought to you by CPS TV.